What I try to say to the guys, and I've been through this myself prior to being with gyms, you spend thousands on advertising and sometimes you don't get a reply. Do not even get one response. That's looking for work, the colour advertisements in the paper, big newspapers, and you don't get a response. So with gyms, you don't have to do any of that. I don't have to worry about advertising. All I have to worry about is looking after clients, doing a good job, getting paid, and move on to the next one.
So Roy, thank you very much for joining us. You're from Jim's Electrical. So some people might not know we have electrical, but we've had Jim's Electrical for many years, and you've been with us for 10 years. So congratulations on doing your anniversary. And the reason why we're talking is because Jim does a call to people on a Sunday night, and he was very impressed with your story and had a great chat with you. So he said, interview Roy and ask him a few questions about himself and being a part of Jim's Electrical. So thank you for joining us today, Roy. We appreciate it.
You're very
No worries.
Thank you.
Now, what were you doing before joining Jim's, Roy?
Okay, so I've been in business, Joel, since 1977. I had a partner for 30 years. He retired and I took over the business. That was back in about 2004, 5. So I kept going. We were doing mostly state government work, housing commission, that sort of thing, and friends and family. So then that type of work we were doing, which we'd been doing for all that time, became really difficult to maintain a profit margin. It was taken over by the really big head contractors who were basically shopping around for the lowest price. And being that it's electrical, we can't play that game, Joel. We've got to maintain a certain standard. So I thought, I don't want to keep on doing this, what I was doing. If I'm going to give it away, I've got to find something else to keep the staff in work. And I just happened to be driving along and I saw a Jim's van in Liverpool, here in Sydney. And that was the first time I knew that Jim's, as most people think, it's only mowing, I was aware of the antennas. And then a couple of weeks later, I saw the same van again in the same sort of area. I thought, maybe I should make a phone call. So I went online and had a look, and then Cameron rang me back and we had a chat, and here we are, 10 years later.
Yeah, so has it been, as you said, most people know mowing, but they might not know about electrical, some of the other divisions. So what type of services do you do in your business then, Roy? Do you want to maybe outline all the types of things you've done for people, or just to sort of reiterate how much more than just mowing Jim's is?
Yeah, so we obviously in all power points, install lights, data points, especially now with NBN, such a big thing. Mounting of PVs even, where it's part of the job we're doing. Switchboard upgrades, full rewires, a lot of downlights we're doing now. So yeah, it's a full range. Basically in electricals work available. Intercoms, we're installing a lot of intercoms now. There's Ring doorbell intercoms. So people go along and buy them and they ask us to install them. So pretty much anything electrical we'll do. Appliance repairs, we do that. Not a lot of demand for it, but we do.
Yeah, so full scope of electrical for anyone listening or watching that you guys can do. And what to you then is the difference between using, let's say, a Jim's franchisee or a Jim's Electrical franchisee as opposed to maybe someone who's independent? Maybe do you want to outline for customers what's the benefits to using you guys?
So the security of knowing that we're backed by a big brand. As I said to someone yesterday, I say all the time, if something goes wrong, you know who to ring and we'll come back. There's no question of that. Not that we'd have much going wrong with our work, but occasionally. So they've got that security and that knowledge that we'll come back and fix it if something goes wrong. They know we're licensed. They know we've got qualified electricians on the road. They see our van. We're clean. We've got uniforms. And we clean up after ourselves, which is, I like to remind people of. So, it's just the brand is so huge.
You got great looking vans too. You can't miss them with the Jim's Electrical on the back with the big plug. So they're good looking vehicles.
Yeah.
And with your business as well, Roy, over the years, how much difference was it to when you were running something previously compared to now? What's the difference?
The difference is I'm dealing more with people that know that they're prepared to spend a bit more money, knowing they'll get a good job, and using a reputable contractor. The number of times we come up to jobs where they've had someone else do the work and now they can't find him. He doesn't answer his calls. He did a little bit. Even people have asked for money up front. Other electricians have asked for money up front, taking the deposit, and that's the last they see of him, which I think, is terrible. It's not just with the elderly, it's even with the younger people. We don't take money up front unless we're buying a big appliance. That's when I ask for people for the money for that. But other than that, we don't ask for any money up front. So we are licensed. We do the job correctly, do it once. If something goes wrong, we'll come back. We had a case the other day. We installed some appliance for a client, and he was messaging me that he wasn't happy about something. So I spoke to the guy who did the job. I said, "Could you just ring?" His name was Tony. And he explained to him what we did and how his perception of how it should be done was a little bit different from how we normally do it. But he was happy with that. That's all it took.
You make a good point, Roy, about independence can just go missing, or just disappear with gyms regardless of what happens. Even if a franchisee leaves, for example, we have a work guarantee in place, and that person can always get looked after, and that's what they pay for as well.
That's right.
Yeah. And over the years, Roy, what's your biggest job been? I remember reading something about you did some big solar project. I think Cameron let me know about ages ago. But what's the biggest project you've done?
Biggest project, probably a block of units about 10 years ago from start to finish, 18 units for Housing Commission here locally in Liverpool. We don't normally do big jobs like that, but we have a lot of house rewires, lots of them. We did a medical centre upgrade a couple of years ago, again from start to finish. It was gutted to a shell and we rewired workstations and all, data, everything.
And over the years as well, what sort of support have you had from the team? What sort of support have you relied upon or needed over your journey?
At least once a week, sometimes twice a week. I spoke to him yesterday. We had a chat. Well, I think we spoke 3 times this week. He's very, very supportive. Miles is great too. I probably speak to Cameron more than Miles, but I know they're absolutely wonderful. We've had a couple of issues a few years ago where we had a workplace accident and Cameron would just, he would have come and slept in my house before I let him, It's just wonderful, man. Just wonderful support. I'm really wrapped. I probably wouldn't have stuck it out that long if it hadn't been for the support I got.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear because Cam, I know Cam well. He's a good bloke. I've never met Miles, but I heard he's good, nice as well. And I was going to talk about, maybe for Sparkies, because it's a bit of an interesting one, right? You do your 4-year trade and you go and be a subby or whatever. Whereas with gyms, probably most Sparkies might not know it's a vehicle for them to come into where they don't have to worry about the website or the marketing and they can just concentrate on the work. So maybe do you want to outline maybe why this is a potentially good option for maybe a Sparky who might be maybe sick of doing marketing or sick of these other things as opposed to just coming with you guys, whereas Cam can just handle that in the divisional.
So what I try to say to the guys, and I've been through this myself prior to being with gyms, you spend thousands on advertising and sometimes you don't get a reply. Do not even get one response. That's looking for work, the colour advertisements in the paper, big newspapers, and you don't get a response, unless you're cheap. But with gyms, you don't have to do any of that. I don't have to worry about advertising. All I have to worry about is looking after clients, doing a good job, getting paid, and move on to the next one. We don't have to worry about the advertising, don't have to worry about any marketing. That's all done. And then it's a no-brainer. And for what we spend on advertising on our monthly fees, I would have spent in a week prior, even, with no response. Here I've turned off leads this afternoon because I'm talking to you, but I've already had 2 leads this morning, I think I had 4 yesterday. I've had probably 20 leads this week, sorry. Of course, I don't convert every one of them, but I've got a good chance of converting them. That's what I like about it. I've got a good chance of converting them.
Yeah, it's not a race to the bottom either as well,
Exactly right. I was just talking to someone else a couple of hours ago about inviting me to tender on some work together. And I said, this work is a race to the bottom. I'll tell you now, because I've done this sort of work before. We don't want to go there and say they are plumbers, we're electricians. We're in highly skilled and can be highly dangerous occupations. So we cannot take shortcuts. We cannot cut corners. We just have to do it right. And to do it right, you have to have the right people working for you. We don't have people on low wages. They're all on good money because they earn us good money as well.
Yeah, how big is your team? How many workers do you have with you?
At the moment, we've only got 5, but we've just restructured, let go of some other work we were doing before. I'm basically now concentrating probably 99% on Jim's work. So the team know this work well. They do it well. One of them's been with us about 12 years. Another guy just started 4 months ago, and he's really moved into it. And it's easy to get people to do this sort of work because they're dealing with the general public who are, nice to work with, nice to talk to, rather than other times, being abused about the price and, he can do it for that and he can do it for that, So we don't want to go there.
Well, how do you go about keeping good employees? If you kept someone for 12 years, that's a good effort. So have you kept them for 12 years? What are some things you might be doing?
Well, obviously their wages have to be up there because there's a supply and demand and they can demand good wages because of the shortage there is. We give them training. We have a good H&S system where they, make sure they're looked after and not going to be in any danger. Regular toolbox meeting, keep updated what we're doing, making sure they're in the loop with what we're doing all the time.
You've got size business you got, so it's a pretty nice small business you have. So you don't have to say how much money you're making, but you're happy with the level of income you've been doing with the gym's business over the years.
Yes, I am. I'm very happy with it. So I don't know if you know, but I've got 2 franchises here in Sydney. So
Campbelltown, and what was the other one? Preston's. Yeah. So how does that work? Do you divide up your workers between both territories, or how do you do that?
No. because I can't tell where the leads are coming from, actually. No, just as the work comes in, and depends on when you can book them in. Can't always book them in the next day. Sometimes this morning I booked 2 jobs for another 2 weeks. So just whatever we've got on, we just share the work around.
And over the 10 years, Roy, what are some business tips you've learned, or what are some things you've picked up over the years as some advice?
Absolutely. Honesty with clients. Be upfront all the time. If you're going to lose the job, you're going to lose it anyway. But be honest. No hidden extras. That's why I like to go up and physically quote in front of people. I don't like to quote over the phone unless it's a really small job that I know exactly what we've got to do. Other than that, I go and see the people, explain to them. I write it up, type it up for them, explain exactly what they're going to get. But honesty and being upfront is key.
Yeah, because you've got a really good customer service rating. I was going to ask you that question about what's you as customer service, but you've just outlined it there for us as well. What would you say to someone maybe looking at doing electrical? Because if you, as I said before, if you're a Sparky, you might want to go to subcontractor route or might want to do it your own. What sort of questions should they be asking, or would you tell them to would you recommend that they at least have a look at gyms maybe as an option to do their own thing?
Yes. I've even invited some to come have a couple of days with us.
Yep.
See how we do things. Obviously, there's behind the scenes of receiving the lead, speaking to the clients, going to see them. A lot of people find that difficult to manage. And because I have a team and I'm not really on the tools much anymore, so I can do all that and concentrate on doing that properly. And I think I get pretty good feedback from the clients as well, even personally, So, yeah, come along with us, come along with one of the other franchisees and have a look how it's done. Have a look at the sort of work that we do. We're not going down dirty old houses, most of them are pretty clean, upper market, nice people, as I said, they're prepared to pay a little bit extra to have a good contractor working on their house.
Yeah, and Jim called you as well on Sunday for your 10 years. So what did you have a chat about with him?
About the same sort of thing. I must admit, it took me a few minutes to realise it was Jim because we were having dinner and I had people around me talking. And funny enough, I didn't have his number saved. I don't normally answer the phone during dinner. Well, but I'm glad I did, So we talked about, well, you and I have spoken about. Obviously, there's also customer complaints sometimes and how we deal with them. I'm also a franchisor for New South Wales Regional and ACT. And we talked a little bit about that. So that's another thing that I've done the last couple of years.
What about you as a franchisor then real quickly? So as a franchisor, Roy, what support do you provide your franchisees? Maybe you want to talk about if someone does come and join the region, what sort of things do you do from or help them out with?
So obviously the phone calls once they're in, but prior to that, I go through the whole business with them, meet up with them. Just yesterday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I went down to Moss Valley, our newest franchisee, Jason. He's doing a little bit tough at the moment. We're not quite getting the leads, but I went down with him twice in the same day, in the same week. Had lunch with him, had a bit of a chat about some strategies, about how to deal with sometimes people's negativity about what we're going to do, or about how far away we are. And I explained to him it's not important because we'll go to that person's house. It's on us to get there, quote the job. But also some things about what to look for when he's quoting, I guess my experience. Yeah, I said, even go to look at some jobs, ring me from there, FaceTime me from there. I'll explain to you what you've got to look for so you'll know what to quote on. And next time you'll know without having to ring me. I go down to Canberra. I haven't been for a couple of months, it's been too cold. But I'll probably head down now next month and I'll meet up with them a couple of times before Christmas. Even, last year I caught up with them all, had Christmas dinner with their families. But they know, and I was explaining to them, I'm only a phone call away if they've got a problem or a difficult client or, they receive a complaint, just ring me. I'm on the phone straight away. I'm always available for a chat, whether it's positive or negative, I just like to reiterate and copy what Cam has done for me. I'm very much the same.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, Roy, so if someone wants to sign up and be a franchisee with you, what do they get as well? Are they getting uniforms? Are they getting training? Maybe do you want to just tell people, what do they get as part of the Jim's electrical package?
Okay, so they're getting the training, obviously. That's our first step. We want to make sure that they're the right people with us and that they're happy to be part of it. Then if we go there, we provide them with signage for their vehicle. That's part of the deal. Uniforms, invoice books. So that whole starter package. Jason lives in Moss Valley. It's about 3 degrees out at the moment. So we fitted him out with long pants, polos like this, jackets, even an under jacket, like a skivvy type thing with long sleeves. It's the first time I've done that. With the logo, so if he wants to take his jacket off, he's still got a logo. So we fit them out to people that look part of the team. We all look the same uniform, same everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll outline for people who might not know, but for me, from what you've said as well, a big value in the Jim's Electrical brand is just having that. Don't have to worry about a website. Don't worry about doing lead gen. I just have to concentrate on doing a good job with the customer. Whereas if you're an independent Sparky, you have to worry about AdWords, you have to worry about website, you have to worry about all that other stuff, which is a small fortune sometimes to get it to where the level you need to be to compete in the area.
I'm familiar with it now because as a franchisor, I'm becoming more involved in that AdWords thing. But to be honest, Joel, Sparkies are not necessarily computer literate, and I'd say that in the kindest way. We don't have time for that sort of thing, you know.
You've got to do the job, exactly.
You've got to do the job. Another thing I do, and I'm trying to encourage the others, I'm in a network group called BNI. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes.
That's been hugely successful for me. I've been approached by the Australian franchisor BNI to come to a system where we can get new franchisees into a chapter.
Yeah, so you might not know, Roy, because you would have done training ages ago, but at Jim's at head office, we'd have a Sam Robinson who's involved in BNI as well from building inspections, and he mentions about BNI heavily in his local area marketing session because like electrical, Jim's building inspections are generally once off. They're not the repeat regular like your cleaning or your mowing or your that. So you're right. BNI is really, really important. So with BNI, because I've attended one before to see what it's like, it's a different culture and stuff. So how did you go with that originally?
I got basically dragged along kicking and screaming. I was coaching soccer at the time and I had this older guy who wanted to play. So I said, come on. And he saw my logo at the time. I wasn't with Jim's at the time. And he said, do you have enough work? I said, yeah. Sure. He said, do you want more? I said, who doesn't? You know, and he said, come along to this, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, being the old tradie, we don't network, you know, we don't do that sort of thing. You know, I said, yeah, all right, I'll come around. You know, he badgered me for a few weeks, took me along, and I got a lead the first day from a real estate. And till this day, I'm still getting leads. That's 13 and a half years ago. What it does also for you, not only provides you with work, it gives you some skills of getting up and speaking.
Yeah.
It's not Toastmasters, but you've got to get up every week and stand up in front of 30 or 40 or 50 people sometimes and do a sales pitch. It can be daunting. I still get nervous, but I do it every week. But it gives you those skills. And you get tradies to do very well out of it.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Roy. And that is, so you do weekly meetings and you do have to do like that presentation and you need to do those networking skills and you have to be proactive as well, like where some people might not want to be that way. But BNI is fantastic for a lot of our divisions, building inspections like yourself. And it's great to hear that it's been really good for you over the years. How much work do you reckon you've generated over the years with BNI?
Probably generate about $1 million.
Really?
Yeah, because we have those stats.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm actually about $20,000 short of $1 million.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm still getting work from people who left BNI years ago. So you form good relationships. So I was hoping at some point we would get something similar in gyms. I know that someone tried to start off down here. I went to a couple of meetings a few years ago and never seemed to kick off because you do need that support, especially for young guys. I think it'd be really good. I try and get it. I know one of Cam's ones, Yas just joined one of the local chapters here, and I took him along to ours, see what it's like. So you're allowed to go twice and have breakfast and see what it's like before you make a decision. One of mine in Canberra is in BNI, but Canberra doesn't have many good, strong chapters. I visited one last year prior to sitting along. They only had 7 members, and they're all on their phones, which is taboo. But still, it's a really good networking group because it's structured. That's what I like about it, Joel. It's structured. You have to do these things.
Everyone's really friendly as well. Like I've seen them. Yeah, I went to one or two here. I've seen it before, and everyone's very friendly and very welcoming. The ones that I went to or saw down here. So
we're encouraged to make people feel welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely worthwhile. Well, Roy, thank you very much for your time today. I'm going to present you as well with this Accor Silver membership, which is basically 2 free nights to any Accor hotel in the world. You can take yourself and one other to whatever you want for 2 free nights. And then basically you get 50% of dining at any of their restaurants, which there's a lot of them, and percentage of drinks and stuff. It's worth around $600.
Oh,
so we'll get that to you as well on behalf of Jim's group and Jim himself. So thank you very much today for your time, Roy. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Joel. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Roy. See you, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the episode of the Gyms podcast. If you want to learn more about the Gyms Group, head to gyms.net or call us on 131 546 Australia or 0800 454 654 New Zealand. And if you did like the episode as well, please make sure you leave a review or a comment or a thumbs up or a comment on the video as well. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.